Here's a question for you. Read the title of this video again. Have you ever really put a banana in your mouth? What do you think we're going to talk about today? Hi, I'm Rick Higgins. This is the Pirate Wanderer, and I'm willing to bet, despite what you think the video is going to be about, it's not. Maybe. Stay tuned to the end. We'll see where it goes. Okay, it took me over 50 years to learn this, and I want to share it with you now. All of the stuff that you've been putting in your mouth that you thought was food, it's not food. Not even food and close. I discovered this in Costa Rica, in a rainforest, in a little cottage that didn't have many amenities, and did have a sloth living out in the tree behind us. Nope, what I learned was food tastes like food. I should probably explain that a little more. Now, I've always said that I hate fruit. I really don't like to eat fruit. Fruit just kind of tastes, it's not really good at all. But they serve fruit with every single meal there at this rainforest lodge. And so I'm protesting, I don't want to eat this, oh, what's my may, I don't want to eat this. And I put it in my mouth, and all of a sudden the herald sang, and I swear to God, I saw God. The reason was, it was fresh. It was picked at the perfect ripeness and taken from the tree and put directly on my plate. Everything they served, not just the fruit, was fresh. If they didn't get it out of the ground, or if it wasn't killed recently, we didn't eat it. It was that fresh. And all of a sudden I started having the revelation, the realization that my American diet up to that point, not a damn part of it had been fresh. Now, there's a term I want to share with you. It's called food miles. And it is basically the total geographic distance that food is transported between their cultivation, processing, and the consumer, that would be you, at the point of sale. Putting it simply, it's measuring how far your food had to go to get to your face. Now, the very fact that they have a term called food miles should scare the living crap out of us. But aside from the environmental issues, which we can discuss if you want, maybe in a later video, let me know. But aside from that, picture what has to happen to get that food to your face. Now, let's take a banana, for instance. A banana would say come out of, I don't know, the Amazon basin down in Peru, which is, I've actually seen them put them on a boat and bring them up, so that's why I'm using that as an example. In order to get that to you at your table looking ripe, when do they have to pick it? Because they got to transport it a long way. They picked it before it even was really kind of starting to grow. So what they get is they pick it and they try to stabilize it and they try to get it to you, but because so many days and weeks have passed, that's not fresh. It never had a chance to grow. The sugars and the flavor and everything never had a chance to get into your food. When you eat a banana, you ain't eating a banana. You're eating, I don't know what you're eating. It ain't a banana. I've had them. Doesn't taste like that. Now, how are we combating that? Well, we have a backyard food forest. Not my doing. My girlfriend Nikki, she is, oh my dear Lord, we're picking up all the grass and putting in things that, if it's green, you can eat it. Basically, that's what the backyard is turning into. And we got chickens back there, and dear God help us, we even had a rooster show up this weekend. I'm gonna have to do a whole video on why I'm drinking to combat that. But we have fresh food. Now, maybe it's not protein, but every day we go out and we get vegetables and herbs and it's fresh. I know it's fresh because I watched it grow. I watched it come out of the ground. What we can't get, we go down to the farmer's market. Stuff that the farmers who are 10 miles away from us are actually selling. It's what comes out of their ground. They don't get it shipped in. So basically the food that we are getting as far as produce and fruits are absolutely fresh. And I got to tell you, I'm going to keep harping on this subject, but you can taste the difference. Now, yes, we do have transgressions. We do backpedal every now and then. We had an incident a couple weeks ago and we needed some comfort food. So I went out to get some donuts from Krispy Kreme. Now, bear in mind, we've been eating pretty healthy for a long time now, meaning we've been dialing back the meat proteins and dialing up the fresh vegetables and fresh fruits. So our bodies have become acclimated to eating better a little bit. So I went forth and got those yummy blobs of fatty, sweet goodness, and we both got sick. Now, it may have had the fact that I stuffed 4 of them in my face in the time you could watch this video, but it was just this overload of processed fat and sugar, and my body didn't know what to do with it. And it was a horrible feeling, both of us. And then not so soon after, you're hungry. We went to McDonald's recently and, put a couple cheeseburgers and some fries in my face. I didn't feel so good, but I'm like, oh yeah, I'm full. 30 minutes later, I'm starving because all of that processed stuff just spikes your blood sugar, tanks it right back down, and all of a sudden, you're in that endless cycle of putting on pudge. And don't even get me started on processed and ultra-processed food. I've done other videos and I'm definitely gonna do some more videos on this one, but in a nutshell, in a word, don't. Just, if you knew, and you're going to, I'm going to teach you, if you knew how they made ultra-processed food, you would never even allow it on your block, let alone on your dinner table. It is not food designed for you or your health in any manner whatsoever. It is purely designed for greed and profit and shelf life. And it actually does you harm, health-wise. Serious harm. There is a reason that America and the rest of the world is looking the way they are and why our health costs have gone so up. So, ultra and processed food, and basically that means anything in the center aisles of your grocery store. Anything that comes in a box, anything that came in a can that had other items in there. Most things in the frozen food section. Just say no. What suggestions have I for you at the end of this fine week? Well, maybe you can't do a garden. Maybe you can. If you can, it's actually kind of a lot of fun. I mean, it's not my thing, but I'm glad it's out there. Like the chickens aren't necessarily my thing, but they're kind of becoming. And I gotta tell you, I don't even know what to do with all the eggs. We have three egg-laying hens. And we get so many eggs, I don't even know what to do with them anymore. I'm learning all kinds of wild quiche recipes. Anyway, I digress. You find what you can do to be sort of self-sustaining and to get fresh food. If it's not you, go to the farmer's market. Yeah, I know it's easier to go to your one-stop grocery store and pick all the produce off that probably flew in from Thailand or across the... By the way, did you know that we actually sell our oranges from Florida to California, and the ones we get here actually come from California? Even though we grow them, it makes no sense. That's where your food's coming from. So take the extra step. Go to the little shops, go to the butcher shop that will have the fresh meat, go to the farmer's market that's going to have the fresh produce, and don't expect to get stuff that's out of season. If you love asparagus and asparagus aren't growing right then, you ain't getting asparagus. Just wait for it to be in season and think how much more you're going to appreciate it, because the transportation cost and the stuff that you're getting because it took so long, it ain't the asparagus that you thought it was. So there's my suggestion. Go the extra mile. I mean, even in these times of COVID, go the extra mile, find fresh. And I tell you, that next banana that you put in your mouth, it's going to taste like a banana.